Happening now, drug overdose deaths continue to rise in the Jamestown community. We speak with law enforcement leaders who are sounding the alarm. Plus, the latest store that's lifting its mask mandate for those vaccinated against COVID-19 here locally.
Well, the temperatures are up from here, along with some muddled sunshine with some high clouds. But where's that humidity going? And are we going to see any showers? We'll talk about it next as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Jamestown Police Chief Tim Jackson is speaking out after the number of drug overdoses and specifically the number of drug overdose deaths in the city of Jamestown continues to increase. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our team reached out to Jackson this morning in an effort to learn more about this troubling trend. He explains how there have been 14 overdose deaths so far this year, compared to 12 in all of last year. The chief says that the trend, largely involving fentanyl, is alarming.
Fentanyl is a more powerful drug, more powerful narcotic, so there's a higher demand for it. The problem with fentanyl, specifically fentanyl, is it can be up to 100 times stronger than morphine. So it's easier to overdose on fentanyl than it is other drugs, and it takes a smaller amount as well.
According to statistics obtained from the chief, seizures of fentanyl have grown tremendously since 2018 in our community. Well, in accordance with CDC guidance on masking and distancing, Wegmans stores will no longer require fully vaccinated customers to wear face coverings here in New York State. A Wegmans spokesperson says a new policy applies to stores in New York. Wegmans shoppers have been required to wear face coverings in their stores since the early stages of the pandemic last year. At this time, it's not clear if vaccine verification will be checked for customers or if it will be an honor system, like some other local businesses are doing now. The new guidance still calls for wearing masks in crowded indoor settings like buses, planes, hospitals, and homeless shelters, but helped clear the way for reopening workplaces, schools, and other venues. Well, there's new information about Pfizer and Moderna's COVID-19 vaccines today, as we're learning more about virus variants and boosters. Plus, the debate over kids in schools is rolling on, but now masks are in the mix. Britt Conway has more on both developments for us.
We're winning the war on the virus.
COVID-19 cases are the lowest they've been in nearly a year, down in all 50 states. Hospitalizations are down. Deaths are down. Health experts say it's proof vaccines work. And now Pfizer's vaccine just became easier to distribute. After the FDA announced the thawed, undiluted vaccine can be stored for a month at normal refrigeration temperatures instead of just 5 days. And there's new data that shows both Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines have cut down on infections in nursing homes. There are also lab experiments suggesting both vaccines appear to protect against the variants first seen in India. Both companies have been working on vaccine boosters against a variety of variants. But now, Dr. Anthony Fauci says they might not be needed against specific variants.
It is likely that you could just keep boosting against the wild type.
And he says we may need boosters in a year or so as the level of protection starts to decline. That assumes full vaccination, though, which is only approved down to age 12, though trials are underway on kids younger than that. So the American Academy of Pediatrics says unvaccinated kids over the age of 2 still need to wear masks in public places. But the CDC has yet to release specific updated guidelines for schools. So the question, to mask or not to mask, depends on where you live. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. Well, a new boutique officially opened with a ribbon-cutting ceremony in downtown Jamestown yesterday afternoon. Owned by sisters Lauren Edwards and Bobby Spare, art, cloth, and craft boutique and gallery started as a pop-up store in the Jamestown Public Market, before migrating to its brick and mortar location at 108 East 3rd Street next to the Reggie Center for the Arts. The store offers a variety of handcrafted items ranging from custom jewelry to hand-poured candles.
We do a lot of other upcycling of goods and give them new purpose. We also are looking for other artisans, local or just small companies that we represent here everywhere, everything from just gifts, novelties, beauty, bath, and then clothing as well.
The shop will host a local artist reception this Friday from 5 to 7. The two sisters are inviting everyone from the community to come down and check out what they have to offer. To learn more, simply visit their website. It's artclothhandcraft.com. We have more information now on our site as well. It's exciting to welcome a new business to 3rd Street. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Pam. Good to see Ed. Good afternoon to Christina, Connie, Sheila, Linda, and Ed as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in on the broadcast. Well, now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by live in studio. And Dakota, you weren't kidding yesterday when you mentioned it is going to be getting hot out there, and sounds like the same thing today.
Yes, it is. It is almost like a tropical heat wave that we have coming, but today the humidity is going to be rather manageable, so not too bad. But yeah, it will be getting a little bit worse here as we go throughout the next couple of days. 78 in Salamanca right now with clear blue skies. We're seeing some high clouds starting to filter in, and there they are on the satellite composite. And again, these are high-level cirrus clouds. These will likely not produce any big problems today. But again, with the increase in humidity, there is a small chance for a spotty shower or thunderstorm somewhere in the afternoon. So just keep that in mind. But the majority of the day will be dry and very warm. 80 was the high yesterday. We should do better than that today. 54 is where we started the day. 90 and 25 are the record highs and lows. We're not going to be near the record for today, so that's good. 78 to 86 today is the high temperatures. Very warm. This is near record levels. Again, the record, as I just showed you, is 90 here in the city, so that'll be safe for another year. Some filtered sun later in the afternoon with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, more humidity than the weekend, maybe a few showers and more humidity. And is there signs of a cool down? We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Justin?
All right, certainly keeping us updated, Dakota. Thank you. Well, New York State leaders have announced updated health and safety guidelines for child care, day camp, and overnight camp programs. Governor Andrew Cuomo's office says updated measures include protocols for COVID-19 testing, physical distancing, and sanitation, as well as other requirements in order to prevent COVID-19 cases. The Department of Health is going to continue to keep an eye on and evaluate data for child care facilities and camp programs, and if necessary, issue additional guidance this summer. Now, according to Cuomo's announcement, facilities and programs have to collect vaccination status and documentation for all their staff and kids there, as well as mandatory daily health screenings of staff, visitors, including temperature checks. Now, the facilities and programs have to notify the state and local health departments right away of a positive COVID test that would either come from a staff member or maybe a child on site. Capacity limitations for children and campers must also be in place in order to maintain social distancing. And staff who are not fully vaccinated have to continue to adhere to that 6-foot distancing rule when around other unvaccinated staff members. Well, after it was revealed that Governor Andrew Cuomo is making more than $5 million off his memoir, American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic, New York State Republicans are strengthening their push to restrict some public officials from writing and profiting off of book deals while in office. As New York State Capitol correspondent Karina Capabianca reports, our local state senator George Borrello is leading that push in Albany.
Did this book deal influence the withholding and the manipulation of data when it came to our nursing home deaths.
That's one of the key questions that's been raised about the governor's memoir that's made him millions. An Assembly Judiciary Committee impeachment investigation is looking into whether the governor used state resources to produce the book, among other issues. The governor has maintained that any staff who contributed to the book volunteered. Now, matching legislation in the Assembly and Senate would block statewide elected officials or officials appointed by the governor to sell or receive compensation for writing a book or other published work while in office.
If they want to write and sell a book, God bless, they can do it, and they can profit from it after their term of public service, but not during.
Republicans say it's not just about the governor's book, but also about reforming ethics and good public policy. While there are not yet any Democrats co-sponsoring the legislation, Assemblyman Burns says he has had conversations about it with members of the majority. New York GOP Chair Nick Langworthy is also calling for the full American Crisis book contract to be released so the public can see the full details, including all timelines, benchmarks, and stipulations. The governor received about $3 million from his book last year. Out of his net income, about $500,000 was donated to the United Way. The rest of that money was put into a trust for his daughters. He's expected to receive another $2 million over the next 2 years.
Karina Capabianca reporting. Thank you. Borrello first brought the issue up earlier this year. Well, next year we have a lot more to tell you about. Trial adjourned when a Jamestown man is set to face murder charges lodged against him following a 2017 killing. And later, the effort to bring back tourism to our local area, how 2 historical homes are looking to do just that. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
The George Barone Jr. Scholarship Fund is hosting its first annual Rummage and Bag Sale fundraiser. An inductee in the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Barone managed, coached, and assisted in youth baseball for 64 years in and around the Jamestown area. 100% of proceeds generated will be donated, which will provide scholarships to graduating Southwestern Central School seniors who partake in athletics. Learn more by checking out the scholarship on Facebook and joining us for the fundraising event.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today, online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The trial for a Jamestown man charged in a 2017 homicide has been adjourned yet again. A Chautauqua County court clerk tells WNY News Now that jury selection for Tavon Turner is now slated to start July 12th. Turner is charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder in the stabbing death of Dylan Ownbay. Turner is facing 2 counts of murder because the allegation is that the killing was intentional and that it occurred during a felony. Authorities, however, haven't provided specifics regarding that crime. Owen Bay was stabbed to death after Jamestown police say he was involved in some sort of altercation with another person on Willard Street at Peterson Streets. Turner was indicted back in May 2019. He was remanded to county jail on $1 million cash bail. The clerk, meanwhile, says that trial dates for Jamestown men Julio Montanez and Carl Sorensen, who are charged in 2 separate cases, have not been scheduled. Well, a Fredonia man will be headed to state prison after he previously pled guilty to second-degree attempted burglary. The Chautauqua County District's Attorney's Office saying that Sean Hallmark was sentenced by Judge David Foley in county court Wednesday morning to 3.5 years determinate in state prison plus 5 years post-release supervision. Officials say the plea was a result of an investigation by the Fredonia Police Department. The incident Hallmark was charged in happened in October, and he was arrested 3 days later. Well, a 9/11 type commission to investigate the violent insurrection on the U.S. Capitol has passed through the House. Its mission will be to investigate the ins and outs of violence on the U.S. Capitol January 6th. But as John Lawrence explains, it's already facing opposition from the GOP in the split Senate.
The bill is passed.
Legislation to establish an independent commission investigating the attack on the Capitol on January 6th has sailed through the House.
This commission is designed to be impartial and experienced and will be actionable and effective, culminating in a final report on the facts and causes of January 6th.
The bill did face opposition in the House from the #1 Republican in the House, Kevin McCarthy, who rejected the deal.
This is driven solely by politics and Nancy Pelosi, but we should not be a part of that.
The bill now heads to the Senate, where it is already facing opposition from the top Republican.
I've made the decision to oppose the House Democrats' slanted and unbalanced proposal.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is sending strong signals that the House Democrats will go it alone if the commission vote fails in the Senate, already discussing a Plan B to create a select committee in the House to investigate the attack and wouldn't need GOP support to establish.
If they don't want to do this, we will.
The bill needs no GOP support in the House, but does need help from at least 10 Republican senators to survive a filibuster in the 50-50 split chamber.
The American people will see for themselves whether our Republican friends stand on the side of truth or on the side of Donald Trump's big lie.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. Our local rep, Congressman Tom Reed, released a statement last night pledging his support for the commission, stepping away from many of his colleagues who stand against it. Well, today is National Rescue Dog Day, a day to learn more about all the ways that a canine companion can improve your life. According to the ASPCA, over 3 million dogs go into U.S. shelters each year and are waiting for a forever home. These four-legged friends can offer a lot of benefits like protection, love, and comfort. Some can be trained to be service dogs or emotional support companions as well. Studies have shown that petting a dog can help relieve depression, anxiety, and even PTSD. If you want to ease into dog ownership, you can get involved with a local shelter like the County Humane Society. You can always use volunteers, and even if you're allergic, you can still, of course, donate to rescue groups. If you have a rescue dog in your life, you can celebrate the day by connecting with others using the hashtag National Rescue Dog Day on social media. Oh boy, we love dogs here at WNY News Now, and every Friday tomorrow we'll have a new rescue animal, maybe a dog, maybe a cat, from the Chautauqua County Humane Society. We've had rabbits before, turtles, yeah, all sorts of furry friends, in some cases scaly friends coming through, ready looking for a new home. So it's a great day. Who doesn't love Rescue Dog Days? My mom is dedicated to that. She loves rescuing animals, and I think just recently the latest dog we had, I don't believe was a rescue. It was a first. We're like, whoa, what's happening? But somebody had puppies for sale, and you can't go wrong with puppies. And in a way, you're finding them a good home compared to the alternative. So a happy National Rescue Dog Day. My favorite rescue dog we ever had was Jack, and unfortunately he passed away about a year ago, and maybe a little more now, and he was such a good boy and just had such a big heart. And I think that's what you'll find with a lot of rescue dogs, and they, in the right environment, they really can thrive. And that statistic about petting a dog, I've actually felt this firsthand. I don't know about you, Dakota, but if I'm stressed out or upset, petting a dog, it really does lower your heart rate and it focuses your mind, and I feel better. Let us know what you guys think about that in the comments. Is it true? Do you feel it too?
Well, I mean, I don't. Well, obviously, I've never had a dog, but
You've had a cat
brother
before.
has had a couple different dogs. But I mean, I think, when you're petting, like, a dog or a cat or whatever, I mean, it does sort of relax you a little bit, because I think your mind is taken off whatever it is that is causing you a problem. Right. And then you're just snuggled up with your animal, and you're just,
Can't go wrong with
gently stroking them a little bit. I think it does, give you that sense of maybe comfort and I think maybe security. I think it might,
Yeah, and it really is man's best friend. If you want a best friend, get a dog. I mean, it's incredible. They're so loyal.
Right. You
got to treat them right, though. That's the thing.
Right. I mean, I saw a quote one time that said, "Mean people can't have any animals because mean people suck."
Yeah, and the dog will know that. They'll sense it. Like it was, we went over to my girlfriend's friend's house the other day, and their dog Tank. He's a big dog, and he's not that receptive to people. They say, Kenzie's like, it's gonna take a little while for you to get to meet Tank. Well, the second I saw him, he let me pet him. He rubbed right up against me, wagging his whole butt. And I'm like, well, I guess he knows a good person when he sees it. I don't know. I was expecting maybe not such a reception, but it was good. It was good.
You just have that halo. That's
I got that halo. They just love the dogs. Good to see Pam. Good to see Sally. Butch, he says, there isn't life without a dog. Joanna says, love me, love my dog. I love your dogs, too. They're so cute. She's such a cutie.
And we love you, too, Joanna.
And we do. We love you. We love all of you for tuning in. The one thing we maybe aren't loving, but we need to love, is the rain, Dakota, because it's pretty dry.
Yes, and I mean, even though we've been enjoying the dry weather and the sunshine and the warmth, we could use a couple showers and thunderstorms, and there will be a chance that we could get some this week. 6.17 inches is the current seasonal rainfall total. That's down almost 3 inches for the season. So yeah, we could use some showers, and there will be a chance for that here as we go throughout the next couple of days. But looking further down the road, by the end of the month to the first part of June, we could be getting a little bit more weather, a little bit more wetter. This is the NOAA 8 to 14 day rain outlook, and you can see where you see the green color. That indicates higher than average chances for seeing some rain showers across much of the Northeast and even extending into the Great Lakes region as well. So this goes by the end of the month. We'll see what happens with that, if we can bring in a few more rain showers to give us a little bit more of a cooler air mass. 79 right now, close to 80 degrees. I'm guaranteeing you will be at 80 by 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock this afternoon. Variable wind of 7, but look at the humidity, 38%. Excuse me. And the dew point down to 51, so it's overall dry air. That's the good news, but it's going to be creeping up as we go through the afternoon. And this is the weather setup as we go throughout the rest of the week. Big surge of warmer air coming in from the south with a high pressure ridge. That means hot weather across much of the Northeast, and not excluding us as well. So we're going to feel a taste of that. And also the muggy meter will be creeping up. This is likely a bit overdone, the 60 to 65. We might stay below that 60 degree threshold today for the humidity. But look at where it goes tomorrow, up into that muggy category, and it stays there for Saturday. So yeah, by the time we get into the weekend, it's going to be much more muggy out there, and you'll be able to feel the moisture in the air. There's that high pressure ridge with a stationary front that has creeped its way across the region, and now off to the east, and all this activity on the left side or the west side of the high pressure ridge, that's where it gets dirty, and that's going to be coming in here at least for some parts of the weekend. So notice future scan painting us mostly dry for today, but notice the high cirrus clouds coming in. So it's almost the same thing as yesterday where you saw those high cirrus clouds in the sky yesterday. It's almost going to be the same thing as we had there. Notice the cloud cover continuing as we go through the day tomorrow, and notice a couple of the showers popping up through the day tomorrow and maybe a couple rumbles of thunder as well. No severe weather expected out of that. So here's the temperatures for the afternoon in the inland areas. Look at this. Lower 80s for most. This is mid-June weather in May. Enjoy it. Next 7 days right now, 85 tomorrow, 81 Saturday. Spotty thunderstorm chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Then a better chance of rain Tuesday and Wednesday, and the humidity will still be a factor. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, 2 historic homes in Jamestown were recognized by Chautauqua County for their partnership and efforts to attract visitors during the pandemic. As WNY News Now's Mario Cosentino reports, the Marvin Community House and Fenton History Center both received a certificate of recognition during a recent legislature meeting for their History and Homes Tour initiative.
Though the Marvin Community House mainly serves as a social club, former president and current member of the House, June Dietrich, says the effort aims to bring people back following a year shut in.
We understood that to get people back to our house and our attraction and to Jamestown in general is that we need to take a step to try to help make that happen.
Pre-pandemic, visitors were able to tour the former house of New York State Governor Reuben Fenton, which now serves as a museum. As the executive director of the Fenton History Center, Noah Goodling, explains, this partnership now offers these tours at a significant discount.
So for the month of May only, we're running a special where you can go to both locations for $10. Usually it would be $10 a piece to go to each location. Now it's $10 for both of them.
Tickets, he says, can be purchased at either location and do not need to be used on the same day. Aside from the discount, both the Marvin House and the Fenton Center work together to create a safe and interactive experience through self-guided tours that utilize QR codes found around both locations.
They can do this on their own. They walk from room to room, scan the QR code, hear a little bit about the room, and we also have staff around that if they have some questions, we'll be glad to help answer if there's something specific that they want to know.
The History and Homes Tour is open for visitors on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., but the discount between the two locations will only be available until the end of the month. For WNY News Now, I'm Mario Cosentino.
All right, Mario, thank you. That's pretty awesome to see. What a way to try to connect history of 2 great institutions in Jamestown. And I think the really awesome thing, which folks maybe don't know, kind of a bonus fact about this story, Dakota, is the Marvin House actually hired some actors to pretend to be Mr. and Mrs. Marvin, who in the 1900s created that house and lived there. And you hear the walk through that institution by them. Mm-hmm. Not really them, but actors that play them. It's pretty cool.
Right.
It was pretty cool to check out. So thank you, Mario, for bringing that story. And if you can, get out and take advantage of the discount. And really, I think that's what this summer is probably going to be like in Jamestown, is we'll see more people starting to come back. I remember pre-COVID, I would always run into, especially on my lunch break, folks from out of town who would be like, what are you guys doing? You're local news. And I'm like, yeah, where are you from? And they'd be Ohio, Wisconsin. There was a lady I met from Arizona who was really, really into I Love Lucy. And I mean, you could tell she was walking around with all the Lucy gear on. It was pretty cool to see. So
Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this live look over downtown Jimmytown. We are back tomorrow with our Friday edition. We'll hope to see you all then.